All right, good morning. Thursday morning, day 3 of trading, of streaming every day until I get payouts from 20 Apex accounts. Currently have 6 accounts. You can see them listed there. I took one little trade earlier this morning for a small win, and we're starting right off into the open here. Real quick, I want to point out this gap that I've been watching all week long from the daily chart, and we've tested up into it every day this week, and every day it's held below it. But yesterday it was kind of an indecision candle, but it did close on its it closed above its open, so it's a green candle. So I don't know, is today the day it breaks through? If we hang out in this area, it could just be a flat, boring day, so we're gonna have to wait and see. Jump over to the, there we go. All right, so here's our that's the 1 minute chart. Here's the 3 minute chart. I'm gonna set up and get ready here for 3 minute open range break. That opening just took out the data low from 8:30 this morning, so I think I would love to see this go higher. I just don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait and see what it does. Who knows? I'd love to see it go higher though, because I think if we do push up through this, I mean, we've been up in this area. I mean, it's been wore out, but every time we get up here, it forces us back down. So 3 minute range break high would still be well within, you know, this sort of consolidation area, so it should be pretty safe, but we'll see. I'm going to get my order set up right now. Oops, what did I just choose? I want to do a simulated order. OCO, please. Let's put one up here for a buy. Doing 4 micros. All right, less than a minute here before the range is complete. When we took out data low, we're at VWAP. And here's our red line, which is a 105 SMA, but so getting it above that to go long would be ideal. I wouldn't really love the idea of getting in short down here, but you know, it is what it is. Let me get this a little closer here. 13 seconds left. Probably safe to drop my order down here. Tend to think we're probably not breaking out there. 3, 2, 1. I don't even know what size our range is here. Hope it's not massive. Not bad. 30 points to the midline. That's okay. That is tolerable. All right, we're in. I'm gonna leave my stop down here a little bit, because I don't want it to just wick down here and then pull straight back up. So you can give it just a little extra room. The dollar values here are that you see here. I'm copying a whole separate account, and I'm just doing one contract in that one. So literally the numbers here are 4 times what you see on the screen. Just point that out. I'm gonna get rid of this line since we already took it out. So total risk here, 187 times 4, so that's what, about 600 bucks. That's kind of a lot. It's really more than I'd like to risk, but I don't know, I think this looks like it could be okay. So I mean, I guess technically the stop should be below this candle. 200, 400. Oh, ripping down. This could be our first loss of the week. 200, 400. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm gonna move it down to the bottom of this candle because I would just hate to get wicked out here and then have it turn around. Once this candle closes though, our stop moves up, so we'll see what happens. You look at the 1 minute chart, it's kind of a yucky open here. I mean, on the 1 minute chart, it kind of looks like we're rolling over a little bit, so we'll see. All right, pulling back up, keep going. All right, we're gonna move our stop up just a little bit. Because if we take out this low, there's a good chance we take out this low before, even if it did turn around, probably take out these lows before it did that, so I wouldn't want to sit through all that. This is not ideal. Definitely the choppiest open that we've had. Look at the 1 minute chart, all these. There we go. Come on, push up. Push up. I need a wick above that 50% line so I can move it up to the 50% line is what I need. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised that there's a lot of noise. Oops, that there's a lot of noise in this area. I mean, we've been here for, I mean, it's been right in this range since what, 2, 3 o'clock this morning. All right, we're almost back up to break even. Come on. Lot of indecision right here. There's a battle going on. I mean, the first 5 minute candle closed green. It was indecisive, but it was green. And that red line is pretty flat, which never is, you know, that's never ideal, that flat red line. All right, so we got, no, we don't have a close yet. We still have 1 more minute. Back up to break even. Okay, here we go. Now we're off to the races. Oh, I should need to move my target to 100%. All right, we have a solid breakout there. I'm gonna move stop to mid-range. See, the problem is right now, well, just a fake out. Well, 6 seconds. I should give the blow of the candle. This is where it gets tricky. I am really tempted if it gets back up there into positive territory just to close it. The only problem is as soon as I do, it's gonna rocket up and then I'll be really annoyed. All right, so the bottom of my little box is at, let's see, 388, 25, 388. Okay, here comes my stop. First stop of the week. So that box I have on the higher time frames is right here, basically. I don't know where the high is, but 388 is about the low. The high of the thing is 452. Okay, so I guess it is 452. Right about there. So that's that gap on the daily chart. You can see we'll wick up into it and it just keeps pulling back. And here we go up again. The only thing is, if we were to push through this thing, I think we'd probably get a nice little pop to the upside. There's a bunch up there. I mean, this is the first, second, third time it's trying to push out of this range. I don't have anything in my rules about taking profits early, but I mean, look at this. This is not ideal. Definitely not what we like to see. Every time it pushes up there, we get a wick back. I might move to break even if we pop the top of this candle. This is the longest I sat through a trade in a while. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go. Very indecisive. Well, look, the bottom of that candle is right at our 50% line, so I guess we can go basically to that. So we've tightened our risk. Except it's probably... We have an inside bar here, so... We're either gonna tap this low and head up, or we're just gonna drop. So I guess if it taps the low, we get out because... Can't risk it going too much lower. You know what? I'm gonna move it down a little bit. Just with how choppy this thing is. Trying to see if there's any other like... Yeah, here it comes down. Alright, here's the test. Is it going to test this wick and turn around, or is it going to drop through? Let's hope it turns around. We're back down to VWAP here. There we go. Actually, I think I lied earlier. Is this... That 173, I think that's... That is weird. Oh, I'm in 2 contracts on the... Okay, so it's double. It's double. Thought it was only 1 times, but it's double. So it'd be just over 300. There we go, 346. So the first L of the, of course now it's breaking out the bottom. Probably should have just reversed it right there, huh? I gotta change my, there we go. I'm going to take the break of the low here. So we make a little back. Coming down to the overnight open. And we got a bunch of noise down here. She's falling though. There we go. There we go. Look at that. It was supposed to do that going up. We're gonna move to break even. Plus a little bit. That gold line there is yesterday's overnight open. We need a little push here. I don't come all the way back up. This may not be my day. Let's see what happens here. What has it done at the overnight open down here? We haven't been to the overnight open since before midnight. So it's possible to get a bounce here. I should have probably recognized that. But yeah, we're pushing down a little bit. Gets choppy, these overnight opens. Come on back down. The overnight open on, we're actually below the overnight open on regular NQ, like quite a bit below it. So that's the level I'm really more interested in. Come on. Let's go, push down there. Get me my target. Make me feel better about myself. Did it like tap it, but not fill me? Gotta push through it. Come on. There we go. Alright, so so we're back in the green. Puts us plus 177 on the day. I think I mean, if we looked at the win-loss ratio on this strategy, we've had 2 wins. Since that's going to go for a little bit, let's go back in time, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and put my orders up here so we can actually see. Okay. Let's see. So I think I did trade it this day. What was this day? This would have been the 8th. Is this Monday? I think I ended up getting stopped out. This was when I was sort of first playing with the thing. I ended up getting stopped out. I got in again up here and did a bunch of nonsense. But if I had trailed the candle like I did today, it would have been fine. It would have worked. I would have moved to break even. Would have hit. Took a minute, but it would have hit. All right, so that's 1 win. And then let's go to the next day. So this was the 10th. 2 days ago. Took the break. That was the win. That's 2 for 2. See, this one we had one test out, pulled back in, and then it dropped and kind of never came back. So that's something I need to go back and back test to see if it kind of breaks out some number of times. Do I go break even or stop early? Because I think that's probably what would have made sense today. I tried to break out 3 different times and it just didn't. Well, actually, here's one. So this one I took my profits early. Technically, this would have been a loss. So I don't know how we count that, but Smart to take profits early on this one as it was hesitating. 1, 2, and then it came back. So we did get a nice push out. So that's, you know, that's what we want to see. We want to see that sort of impulsive move almost right away. And then today, boom, and it dropped a little bit further. Now it's still messing around. 1, 2, 3 wicks. Yeah, I think the right move would have been to where's the stop at on this? So hard to see. I need to change the color on that, right? That's crazy. Can't even see that. So there was my stop loss. I should have trailed the candle. I mean, that was my mistake. That would have contained the loss a little bit. I mean, should have saved myself, you know, 10, 11, 12 points on that. At any rate, fell that way, worked that way. We'll take it. All right, now let's see what we do. So again, this area up here is just holding tight. All right, there we go, something like that. So again, this level is off the daily chart. It's a gap on the daily chart that's shown resistance for, I mean, if you move this across, right, we've been up into it we've been up to it every day, and it's pushed down every single day. So that's until it breaks, really, until we close above this. I think longs are risky, right? Especially if you're looking for any kind of a continuation. Anything up into here is going to get stuck until it doesn't. One of these times it's probably just going to break through, but until it does, you just have to assume it's going to be choppy because that's what it's showing us. Ooh, excuse me. And then what is this line that I have? I think I have, yeah, so we broke below this upward channel. Well, let's see what happens. All right, well, that was the end of the break, the 3-minute open range break. One thing I like about this strategy is it's, you know, it just sort of happens in the beginning of the day, and you just take the trades. If you're super mechanical about it, I would have taken, and the way that this trade is kind of designed is that if your stop loss is at the 50% of the range, you're essentially a 2-to-1, you know, your risk reward is 2-to-1. And so then if you lose the first one, then it breaks out the other side, you take it and it wins, you know, you're still positive by, you know, half the distance of the range. And so that risk to reward is pretty good, especially when the win-loss ratio that, you know, at least so far is pretty good. I did some back testing I think I back tested 50 trades. I would have to go back and check 50 trades. And the win-loss ratio was something like, you know, 85% win rate. So if you have a 2-to-1 win-loss ratio and your risk to reward is, and your win-loss ratio is 83%, and your risk to reward is 2-to-1, you know, that can be pretty profitable. So I don't think I'm going to change the rules as far as, you know, I'd have to go back and see days like this where it sort of wicks out of there a couple of times and see if there's something like that that makes sense. But ultimately, I think just trailing the candles is what makes sense until you can hold that stop loss at the 50%. And then just it is what it is, right? Obviously, if I had got in here and not had my stop loss below this candle, we would have been stopped out earlier. So, you know, the result would have been the same, but we want to give it a chance to work, so. Now, let's see, I'm going to jump over here. I think, is this the 15-minute open range? Yeah, so now we're down, we're below the 15-minute open range. We're below all this stuff. That would have been a good green line trade right here if I was watching. So we'll see if we can get a green line trade or two in here. That'll be our, if we can get to our profit target. Trying to get to $500, that's kind of my, you know, $400 or $500, depending on, you know, if I'm at $400, I'm not going to probably take another trade and risk losing ground on that. I'll just call that a good day, but we're up 177. So we have some room. Hey, good movement. Market's dropping right now. And down we go. Are we to 200% on the, I don't have any. We're probably pushing 200% on this 3-minute open range. I'm quiet. All right, I'm gonna add one more indicator in here just because I like it. I have it on my other charts, so I'm gonna put it on this one too. We're gonna do candle quarters. I do not show the bar center. I do not show the bar pivot. I just want to see the upper quarter and lower quarter. I forget what color I put on these. I think it's like seashell or snow, maybe? Snow? I don't know. Let's go look at the other ones and I want to make sure they match. Snow. Let's look at this. Or maybe it's just white. Let's see. I have it as a hash solid snow. Hey, it is snow. Okay. I think I need to change the... Yeah, I don't want it to be a dot. Candle quarters. Ash. There we go. All right. I like those for purposes of marking out, you know, when I mark out channels. I like to mark, I don't know why. This is just a me thing. There's no, I have no reason for it other than it seems to like work. I like to line the line up with kind of the bottom quarter of a candle with a wick. That seems to be a little more, I don't know. I've seen it work, so that's what I do. There's no right or wrong answer when you're doing stuff like that. Is this? That's too thick. Candle quarters, they are too thick. Go to 1. I don't want it to be overly distracting. There we go. All right. Just a little chart maintenance going on there. All right. Man, dropping. Well, we're definitely down to the 200% level there. All right, we held this box and rejected out of it again. I mean, that's what we've done every day this week. Up in there and then down. Up in there and then down. And like it dropped here and then, you know, it was just choppy, but it worked all the way kind of back up into that level. So I think, don't we have some kind of big news tomorrow? I wonder if that's playing into this a little bit. Yeah, we have CPI news tomorrow, so that may be what's kind of going on here. We're just consolidating until CPI comes. Maybe CPI will be enough motivation for it to push through up there. Could be. All right, we took out our low of day. Still short until we get, still short biased, I think, until we get back up above this overnight open line, above this consolidation. So if we get a nice, I probably wouldn't take the first little rejection lower, but if we get a nice little pullback here, I might take a short for a couple points. Maybe another 15 points. Sorry, you gotta do a little more chart maintenance. No label. Can't stand all the noise up in this corner. I just want to see the date and the time. I don't want to see all my charts and settings, and there's too many of them. All right, we're up to this green line. We also have a VWAP, standard deviation, whatever it is. What are those? I think they're like, the first one is 1.28, the next one is 2.0. These are just the default settings, whatever it was set up with. So they get kind of wider as it goes. So that's kind of a 25%, it's 100%. It's 150%. Is it though? Even though the gap between here and here is bigger. Am I reading that right? I've never actually looked at these that closely before. Oh, it is, because this is a full 1.2. Okay, yeah, it's not 25%, it's 120. Yeah, of course, 128% of 200. So this is only 75% ish difference. Okay, all right, sorry, I'm a little slow, but we got it figured out. All right, I'm gonna take this lower here. This isn't really the pullback that I was hoping for, but that might have been all it gave us. Yeah, that could have been a 15 points easy. Back down. Okay. Okay, whatever you say. Let's look for some lower targets here. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. So we have Obviously the low of day was here. Actually, I'm going to move these. I'm just use these lines. I have a target there. And then of course yesterday's low of day is down here. Give me another one. Okay. Alright, so I think those are levels to watch. Let me go over here and mark them on this chart, since can't get those to just kind of carry over by themselves. So these would be kind of target areas going down. Yeah, that's a low of day, so I don't. That's yesterday's low of day, so I don't really need a line there. Yeah, and you can see right here, we're just settling on that area. No, this might be the turnaround spot. 10 o'clock. We can turn around and go back up. Stop would have to be way the heck down here. 58 points. A little too much for me. If it violates kind of this gap right here, this is the fair value gap, and we're holding, it looks like about the midpoint of that gap. If it broke up here, I think, you know, that's when I switched to long bias, but you can see on the 3-minute chart, the gap is kind of right here. It's been kind of through it on the 3-minute chart, so but those bodies are holding that midline, so that's fairly bearish for now. See what happens. This could also be a big old bull flag or bear flag. See how this guy plays out. Yep, there it goes. Man, NQ, you're getting me all choked up. Can't breathe. Suffocated by the consolidation. All right, down it goes. All right. Continuing downward. That was just an ugly pullback. I mean, that was a pretty obvious bear flag in retrospect, but just not quite as nice looking. You almost like this one right here was actually quite a bit better looking, you know, where we kind of wicked around, but the bodies sort of held this upward thing, and then you get this little drop, boom. You know, that's a signal that, okay, let's see if we get another leg down. It also gives you a pretty decent, you know, 38-point stop. That's reasonable, right? That's what we're taking up here in our range. What's the 3-minute? What was the 3-minute range? Remind me. About 28. So, you know, within 10 points of that. So that's a tolerable stop loss range. Drop. Flirting with this low a day though. Alright, so now I'm watching for potential divergence. We have a low on the stochastic. Here's the low up here, obviously. So we have another low here. Stochastic hasn't curled back up though. Not confirmed. Watch this. This chart, sorry, this chart is getting way too busy, but if we inverted this, confirmed with a stochastic divergence, taking out the low a day, that would be very tempting. Oh, see, there's a curl up. Do we risk it? 41 points. I don't know. And we just reduced our risk. Nope. Alright. Oh, there's a little pop. Oh, yep, there it goes. Boom. I'm telling you, if this was to pop up here and hold, I might go long. Might go along. Even though the stop would be a little bit ridiculous. 40 points. Yeah, it's a little more than I want to risk, but if it doesn't get back up there, then it doesn't matter. We got 2 minutes until the close of the 15-minute candle, which is pretty indecisive down here. There we go. All right, I know we didn't get our close up here. Probably gonna regret it, but there we go. Come on. If this doesn't push up here, I will close it. I'm not gonna wait this out. Kind of needs to be a pop here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. I mean, I don't really know where this is going. That could be as far as it goes. Watching the stochastics, you'd ideally want to hold it till the stochastic got up here, but we haven't really been up there. This is kind of the high of where we've been, so I don't know. All right, so that worked. Stochastic divergence. You got to have multiple tools in your tool belt. Okay, so there we go. So it hit. Well, it hasn't quite. Why do I have my lines? Oh my gosh, this chart is just all kinds of wrong. We got to fix this. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Stochastic fast. Let's get here. I think I adjusted these at some point just playing with stuff, and I never adjusted them back. So we're gonna do 20 and 80. Those are kind of the. There we go. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I guess the other one is still. Yeah, there. Gotta get them to match. Get them to match. There we go. Okay. All right, so I could have held that for a little bit more. The stochastic did get up in above 80%, which is where I'd want it to be for the that's kind of there you'd want to sell off of a divergence like that. You're just looking for these little pops. Now, obviously, could this be the turnaround point, and could we just kind of chop up the rest of the day? Of course we could. But this trade, following it strictly, we have a lower low on the chart. We have a higher high on the stochastic. And again, I waited until it kind of curved around here, right? And then we got in. I got in, you know, the way that, who's the guy that teaches this? Can't even think of his name to give him credit for it. I'm gonna have to look him up, but he would say you have to buy as it's pushing down. So he probably would have watched this, and he does a stream too. Probably goes, I might go back and watch this to see. He would wait till this pushed down here and then probably bought like down into this area, right? He wants to buy kind of low because the stochastics is already curled, so we know we're gonna get a little bit of chop. It comes down, you buy it, your stop loss is just below this low. So that gives you the best risk to reward, 12 points. It's a pretty tight stop loss, and then you know, if you'd held it up here and closed it when the stochastic got above this 20%, say just at the top of this candle, right? Sold the close, or bought the close of this one, sold the top of that one, that could have been 50 points. So that's that strategy. And now we have another bear flag. Boy, we're just trading stuff all over the place here. 3, 4. Oh, I thought I did. Oh well. Thought I did 4 contracts. Oh well, I guess I did 3. That'll be. I'll stop it. Guess that'll be good if I get stopped out here. All right, let me delete these boxes since these are not decision-making pieces of information right now. I don't know why that's yelling at me like that. There we go. Oh. If we get another push down here, if we get another little sort of pop down here, I probably will take this. I just don't like I don't like when we're settling at these lows like this. Because if this is the turnaround spot, I kind of don't want to be involved in it. But we had this nice pull up, and then we had pretty decisive drop there, so kind of banking on that. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, so that's that. I think so where are we at? 400, 435. I want to get to 500, dang it. If I'd have been 4 contracts like I wanted to be, that would have been, I might have been much closer to my target. Oh well. Should go in and edit my strategy so it doesn't do that to me again. I don't know. All right, so let's recap the day. We had, let's pop some order entry information on the screen. Oh, what do I not? Is it data series? Data series, text and markers. Okay. It's craziness. Okay. So just to recap, we had, this was a break of the 3-minute open range. So we're looking at the 1-minute chart, but we took this on the 3-minute chart. This was a break long on the 3-minute open range, which failed. We got stopped out over here somewhere. So we took the breakout short when it broke out from here. That won. So 1 loss, 1 win. I took this as a divergence, which won. So that's 2 wins. Took this as a kind of a bear flag, gold line, blue line, whatever you want to call it, trade, and that was a win. So 1, 2, 3 wins, 1 loss, 75% win-loss ratio. See if my, there it is. No, see it's showing because this is interesting. So trade evade. Let's see. See if I move this over here. We'll go over the stats. Okay. All right, so this is my leader account. Should represent everybody. It's showing me at 90%. I don't know why. I think it's because it, the reason it's showing 90% is because the way that it does this is weird. I think it goes, now let's see if we can make sense of this. All right, so it's showing 90%. So it's showing 10 total trades and 9 winning trades. Okay. So I think what it's showing is because it got all 4 contracts in at once, that's 1 trade. 4 contracts, 2 trades. This was 3 trades, but the target broke it up into 4, 5, 6. And then this one, those were all together, that's 7. Huh. I don't know, I can't make sense of it. Anyway, so this actually isn't really representative. I kind of wish you could just take 1 contract on each sort of entry spot. That would give you better numbers because it's saying 90%, but we just showed it 75%. Total P&L, the profitable trades, largest winning trade, 464. Largest losing trades, 346. Expectancy, $45. There's the numbers. So does this show, there's not 10 lines on, there's more than 10 lines there. P&L history, cumulative fees is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is the 10 lines. So this is where it's showing the, we could drill into all of those. Oh, you know what? I had this trade earlier that I forgot about. That's where it's come from. Okay. Woo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's our other 4. So I think I counted 6, right? So if we count those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So we have it. We figured it out. We cracked the code. Sorry for all of you who might be tuning back into this later. This is really probably unexciting, but It's real. This is trading. All right, now we're just settling down to this level. See where we go. All right, so I don't think I want to take any more trades unless something really, really, really ridiculously good looking. Throw my Zoolander comrades out there. Let's see. Data series. Get rid of this. Oh, hold on. Boom, boom. All right, I'm gonna leave this here because this was all these lines everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Because that was my trade rationale, so I'm gonna leave that on the chart. Those don't happen very often, those divergences that are that clear. I mean, they do. There are ones that happen, but the most clear divergences are the ones where your first low is like below that 20%, and your second low on the chart creates a stochastic curl that is above the 20%. You can get some divergences that happen lower than that 20% line, but they're a lot trickier. The ones that work really well is when you see, okay, we have a low and we're oversold. We came down, we have a lower low, but we haven't reached oversold yet. And that's kind of the indication that, okay, this is probably coming up from here. And then again, what's the target? Well, the target, if you're using the stochastic, would be wait until the stochastic kind of gets back up above that 20%, and then that's when you can sell. Or the way I like to do it is you just kind of wait for a pop. Like that's kind of what I did, right? We got a pop up here. Let's just take it. But that's my sort of style. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just how I do it. 3-minute chart. Oh, that's ugly. That's really ugly. And take the markers off of here. Okay. Still ugly, but it's not quite as messy. We're just settling down here at the bottom. Oh, in the world, I'm still showing this other chart. Boy, I am the worst streamer ever. There we go. Ha! So that whole time. This is one of those moments it's funny, but I don't think anybody else is actually watching. I'm just talking to myself right now, which is good. So I'm gonna go back over this because maybe I'll use it later. All right, so I'm gonna go back over the trades thus far for today. Profits. What, $433 after commissions. So first of all, I did take a trade pre-market. We had a nice little pull down here to the green line. I got in really late. And so I took my profit kind of right up here. So that was a short win. Then we're going to move to the 3-minute chart. Add back on our markers only. There we go. So I took a breakout of the 3-minute range here. That failed. I took a breakout short. That won. Then back over the 1-minute chart, we had our next trade was here. We took a divergence trade, which was we had a low here that formed on the chart. And here was the low on the stochastic. So we were down below the 20% level. Came up, we came back down, we created a lower low on the chart, but the stochastic was above that oversold level. And I waited until the stochastic started to curl up. And then after this, I got in, well, I guess here. So after it was kind of confirmed. So I got in late. I should have, the ideal entry would have been to actually get in on this pullback down into the lows here. At any rate, and I got out a little bit early again, but I waited for just kind of a pop up and we just belled right here. The textbook exit for that trade would have been to wait until the stochastic gets up to or above that 80% level, which you can see could have got almost double what I did. But that's the nature of that beast. And then that ended up forming this bear flag. And then when we got this rejection down below these prior candles, I went ahead and jumped in, and I just kind of sold on the first sort of impulsive move down. So those were the trades for the day so far. We're just going to kind of wait here and hang out for another 30 minutes and see if it sets up anything else just really nice for us. We're really consolidating down here at the bottom. Again, every prior day this week, we've tested up into this box up here, into this gap on the daily chart, and it's just pushed us back down. We were up in here pre-market, straight back down. So yesterday when it did this, it pushed us up into this area, straight back down, and then the rest of the day was just very choppy, but choppy up, in kind of a huge range. So very, very tricky day yesterday, middle of the day and afternoon. Yeah. Are we forming a bigger kind of bear flag here? We've got one forming on the 5-minute chart. See if I remember to switch back to the 1-minute chart after this. We're kind of forming it up over here. So if this 5-minute candle were to kind of close down here, which on the 1-minute chart, we have this line on the 1-minute chart, about that same spot. So if it were to close down into this level, that might be an indication that we're going to come down and maybe create new lows. We'll see. Yeah, got a drop there. Again, notice that red candle broke the prior candle lows, and then we got to move lower. So still have 2 more minutes on the 5-minute chart. So if you're waiting for the 5-minute chart to end, it's probably gonna either wick back up or come down and take out these lows. Guess we'll see. Meanwhile, what's our profit for the day? We had, doing all kinds of math over here. Call it 433.24 times 6, 2,600 bucks. Not bad for a morning's work. All right, we are holding this level. Coming back down. We have 40 seconds left on the 5-minute chart. At this point, we did create a lower low, but our stochastic is oversold. So for me, taking a short here doesn't make sense, but we got another little pullback into the green line. Is there a way to just draw? How do you just draw? You just like freehand it? Let's see. I don't see that option. Maybe you can't do that on NinjaTrader. See, you could actually theoretically say this is a potential divergence. this created a higher low here. I know I got like yellow lines all over the place. And we're creating a lower low on the stochastic. That might be enough for me to risk it. 5-minute chart just... Ooh, strong red candle on the 5-minute chart. So yeah, I'll probably stay out of trying to catch a bounce here. Yeah, there it goes. Whoop. Alright, divergence invalidated. All right, we're pushing hard through that low. I mean, that is a clear bear flag on the 5-minute chart. It's too much risk for me. I'm gonna wait it out. See if we get something a little prettier here. Wow, look at that thing go. Right down to that next level. I don't know. May just push right through. Down, down, down we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. All right, it's hesitating a little bit. Right? That 200% line. That is 200% on the NQ chart, by the way. Didn't quite get there on the MNQ chart. All right, this is nice. Now, if we got to pull back into the green line, I would definitely be interested. We have 45 seconds left on the 5-minute candle. We're coming up to the open on the next 5-minute candle. See if it gives us a little bit of a pullback. We still have 5 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. I don't know though, this could come down to yesterday's low. It's a long ways down there. Alright, give us a little pullback, please. 84 points. Not going to, just gonna keep going. That's alright. I'm not gonna risk my $433 unless there's something really good to look at. $20 more minutes of my session here this morning. I honestly don't see much happening in the next 20 minutes. I mean, literally this current 1 minute candle is the first candle in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last 9 candles to break the prior candle's high at all. And it tested up and immediately shot down. So, very, very bearish here at the moment. I have to sit on my hands because these are times when I really, really get tempted to just take the break of a candle low. Whenever I go back and say, hey, if you'd have taken the break of any candle low in this drop, you'd have been fine. Including that last one. However, on the candle that I did it would not work. It would go 2 ticks below and then rip back the other way. I have that much control over the market, so I just stay out. That way all the bears continue to get paid. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. All right, more hesitation here at the 225 level, whatever that means. Is this where we get a pullback? There we go. Keep going. Keep pulling back. Every time, boy, it wicks above the prior candle and then straight back down. I shouldn't say every time, it's only done it twice. That is downward momentum for sure. I'm almost back to full drawdown on these 6 accounts. That's a good place to be. So maybe tomorrow I'll up it to 5 or 6 micros. Let's see, tomorrow's Friday. Monday is President's Day, is a holiday, so I will not be trading on Monday. So after tomorrow, I'll be back Tuesday. If we can have another green day tomorrow, that would be a green week. 100% win for the week. I don't want to jinx it, but it doesn't happen too often, so grateful for it when it does. No, it's starting to slow down a little bit. Breaks the low. It's not going quite as far. Okay, we have the close of a new 5-minute candle, another very bearish candle. Maybe now it pulls back up into the green line. I mean, it's got to give us some pullback at some point. But it does not have to do it now, that's for sure. little bit of a stronger bounce. Oh, that was also, we also had the close of the 15-minute candle. Okay, that might be why. Opening of a new 15-minute candle, so we're getting a little pullback on that. Last candle was 30 points. So what's that? 60 times 4? So 240. Oh boy, $240 if I were to get into something here. I'd like a little bit more of a pullback here, but we haven't really been getting pullbacks at all, so maybe any kind of a pullback in this range is enough of a pullback. I mean, that's only the second time we've had 2 candles highs be broken consecutively. All right, 21 point candle. Still not actually into that green line yet. I don't really trust the green line on NQ. I like to have something else. So if it were to poke up through that green line, we also have that VWAP standard deviation line right above there at almost the same spot. So if it gave one like kind of wick up there showing some rejection, maybe up into this fair value gap right here, I might be tempted to take a short on the break of a candle lower. So we'll see. Again, it's a very strong downtrend, so it may not give that kind of a pullback, or it might just blow through it. That's good. Come on, one little wick up would be really, really nice right now. Let's go for it. Do you have it in you? Thinking. Got up on 1050, so the 1050 algorithm, whatever that means. Yeah, we may not get the pullback we want. Might just drop from here. Yep. That's okay. That is okay. All right, we're 1 minute away from a close on the 5-minute chart, which a little bit of a reversal candle. All right. I really wanted to take a short there, but just not totally convinced that it's not done pulling back yet. And also because this could technically be a divergence like we had over here. We have equal lows, but below 20%, above 20%. So does it bounce? This conflicts with the fact that we're on a very strong downtrend, so you know, taking essentially a reversal here could be risky. not going to do that, but it creates enough of there's enough conflicting information there that it makes entering either direction less comfortable, at least for me. So I guess I'll wait. 9 more minutes. 9 more minutes. See if I can sit on my hands for 9 more minutes. All right, now that's a more clear divergence. See that reaction there? Boom, boom. So the divergence would have been the right play. Probably would have already been out of it there, though. I mean, if you're taking short little scalps, honestly, either direction there, you went back down to the low. Could have taken a divergence up. Trading both directions in the market like this and side consolidation just makes my head hurt, though. I'm not super confident in things when I start to do it that way. Because any kind of a little pullback, if I'm short here and it starts to pull back, I see the divergence and get spooked out of it. If I'm long and it starts to go against me, I see this green line reaction and get spooked out of it. So whichever direction, whichever rationale you're using to justify your position, you got to stick to that rationale. Otherwise, you just get chopped up. All right, now this right here. Very much consolidation, but this is bull flag or bear flag-ish. Yeah, nice reaction on the 5-minute chart, nice reaction on the 15-minute chart. Problem is 28 points of risk is just too much. It'd actually be more than 37. Yeah, that's too much. So it's going to drop, but it's too risky for me, so I'll wait. I'll pretend like it's okay. It is okay. See, when you're only going for 15 points or so, I mean, I don't know. Could have got 10 points out of that. Took out the bottom. We have less than a minute on that 5-minute candle closing, and that could end up to be a very bearish outside bar there. 15-minute chart is down. The question is, what does it do at this yesterday's low of day down here? That is the question. Do we fly through that thing or do we bounce off of it? I mean, I would say yesterday we didn't really bounce at that level. I mean, we did a little bit, but it wasn't. And it was earlier. It was at 10 o'clock. No, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we fell through it this time. We shall soon find out. So far, it's respecting it. All right, well, you know what? I'm not going to wait for the next 5 minutes because I don't think anything's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here. Again, we're up 433 or so in the 6 funded accounts, so that's just about 2,600 bucks on the day. 1 loser, 3 winners. Green day. We'll take it. All right, everybody, trade safe. We'll see you tomorrow.